10 News begins with breaking news.
140-mile-an-hour winds are fueling Hurricane Dorian tonight, and it's on a collision course with Florida and Georgia. Storm is now a dangerous Category 4, putting millions of people on notice to get out or prepare for the worst.
And we have team coverage tonight of the Labor Day disaster planning, beginning with ABC's Megan Tabrizian in Daytona Beach.
Hurricane Dorian rapidly gaining strength. Already a Category 4 hurricane with 130-mile-per-hour winds, exceeding forecaster expectations from just 24 hours ago.
Residents along Florida's east coast making final preparations. The entire state now under a state of emergency ahead of Dorian's arrival.
Could be the most significant storm we've had in a couple of decades here in Orlando.
The biggest threat could be flooding. Florida's 17 million residents awaiting possible evacuation orders.
If they live in a storm surge zone, so that if we do issue that order, you can move immediately.
Brevard County already telling people living on the barrier islands and low-lying properties they will have to leave starting 8 a.m. Sunday. But even areas further inland could see flooding. Many cities handing out free sandbags.
When Irma came, the whole apartment or the whole complex, the first floor was flooded.
The search for fuel has led to long lines.
Just a little bit more patience.
By midday Friday, more than half of the gas stations in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area were empty.
We are also bringing in now fuel from out of state, and then I'm going to work with the federal government to figure out if there's anything else we can do in the short term to help meet the fuel demand.
Florida Highway Patrol escorting tankers bringing in fuel. Amtrak suspending select service, and airlines now offering travel waivers. Orlando International Airport tweeting it will suspend operations as of 2 a.m. Monday. At NASA's Kennedy Space Center, a 400-foot mobile launcher has been moved inside.
Thousands of airmen and soldiers with Florida's National Guard have been deployed, and thousands of others are on standby. Hundreds of utility crews are on their way to Florida now, some as far away as New Jersey. Megan Tabrizian, ABC News, Daytona Beach, Florida.
A major storm, and we've seen changes just in the past couple of hours. As we've mentioned, Category 4 storm right now barreling towards the Bahamas, wind speeds at 140 miles per hour, and those still may strengthen as this moves over tropical waters, heading towards the Bahamas, making landfall there Sunday at 5 p.m. Once again, continuing to strengthen. Category 4 storm hitting in Melbourne, Florida at Tuesday afternoon as it continues to push north into Georgia and South Carolina. Certainly the entire state feeling the effects of this storm as we continue to watch it. And back here at home, warming up this weekend, I'm tracking Labor Day conditions coming up in your 7-day.
The San Diego branch of the American Red Cross is sending help out east in preparation for Hurricane Dorian. Roughly 600 Red Cross volunteers are headed to Florida and Georgia. 7 of those are from San Diego. There will also be volunteer staff in San Diego working as support for volunteers in the field.
Once the hurricane makes landfall, this room will be buzzing with activity. We'll have volunteers from sheltering, feeding, mass care, logistics, all working here to monitor what's going on.
The Red Cross usually runs volunteers on 12-day shifts. Those shifts can be extended if needed. 10 News will continue to push developments with Dorian throughout the holiday weekend. On our 10 News mobile app, you can download it for free in the App Store. A notorious assassin, Sirhan Sirhan, is now in a San Diego hospital. The man convicted of killing Robert F. Kennedy was rushed to Scripps Mercy in Hillcrest after being stabbed by a fellow inmate at Donovan State Prison.
Our 10 News reporter Matt Boone joins us live outside the hospital with the latest on Sirhan's condition tonight. Matt.
The Associated Press says Sirhan was stabbed at Donovan and then taken to the hospital. CAL FIRE says he was taken here to Scripps Mercy in Hillcrest. In the latest update from the California Department of Corrections, they would not give a full description of his injuries, but say right now he's stable.
My thanks to all of you, and now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there.
Senator Robert F. Kennedy, brother of John F. Kennedy, was in Los Angeles on June 5th, 1968, giving a speech at the Ambassador Hotel. But while taking a back exit through the kitchen, he was shot 3 times, dying the next day at the hospital. 5 other people were also shot. At the time, the suspected shooter, Sirhan Sirhan, was 24 years old. He was convicted and sentenced to death, but that was later commuted, reducing his sentence to life in prison.
Sirhan has always preferred having, being alone in a cell because he knew he was under threat.
That's Paul Schrade, who worked with the Kennedy campaign. He was also shot in the head by Sirhan at the Ambassador Hotel kitchen.
It took me a long time to get involved in the case. I was wounded severely.
Despite being a victim, Schrade has since become an advocate for Sirhan's release, pushing a theory that there was a second shooter.
We are working with people to see if we can get him in one of these innocence projects and released from prison.
Sirhan appeared at a parole hearing in 2016, but it was denied. He's been held at R.J. Donovan State Prison since 2013. The latest numbers from the state show the prison is at 137% capacity, holding 1,000 more prisoners than it was designed for.
There has to be some way of dealing with these problems in that prison, and the prisoners deserve to be safe.
As for the suspect in this stabbing, state officials say they have identified an inmate and they've put him in a separate, segregated part of the prison as they investigate. Reporting live tonight in Hillcrest, Matt Boone, 10 News.
Matt, thank you. Sirhan is not the only infamous prisoner serving his sentence at Donovan State. Eric and Lyle Menendez, that is, who murdered their parents in their Beverly Hills home in the 1990s, were both transferred to Donovan in 2018. And Tex Watson, a well-known member of the Manson family, is serving life at Donovan for the infamous Tate LaBianca murders in 1969.
Happening right now.
Watch out, Robin. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
A streetlight swallowed by a sinkhole. A broken hydrant led to this mess in the Midway district. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is there live, and crews are finally able to get in and see this damage for themselves. Anthony?
Well, crews have been out here working on this nonstop. They actually removed that fire hydrant from the sinkhole. It's been taken away from the scene. You can see what's happening behind me here. You can see that street light there still in that crater. They are working to stabilize it with that crane. They've also been working to try and take it apart here. Meanwhile, you can see crews in that hole. They are working to verify that it was indeed the hydrant that was the issue. They're also poking around to see what else might be broken.
Watch out, Robin. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Crumbling from below, a chunk of Midway Drive caved in, swallowing a traffic light.
And I told all my employees to move out of the way because this light pole is about to fall.
I was like, wow, I hope nobody drives up on it.
It wasn't funny to drivers.
Over almost 40,000 cars a day come down Midway Drive.
Usually great for Mark Hadaway's car lot, but not when the roads close.
The local businesses have already started shutting down. They've sent all their employees home.
For an early weekend.
We'll probably do the same ourselves pretty soon.
It looked like the rapids was coming out probably about 10,000 gallons a minute.
Minutes turned to hours.
Hopefully I can cut it off because it's about to go into my store.
And the traffic light kept sinking and sinking.
Because now the bushes are starting to fall in also.
The city says a hydrant broke, creating the river roadway. It took nearly 2.5 hours to get the water shut off so crews could begin the cleanup. As night fell and crews sucked the water out of the sinkhole, they saw what they were dealing with. A crater about 5 feet deep, 10 feet wide. The work expected to stretch into daylight.
Yeah, and we're supposed to have one of the busiest days of the year tomorrow, so kind of concerned about that.
And crews hope to have Midway Drive at least partially open in some capacity sometime tomorrow morning. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. A carbon monoxide scare in the South Bay Strip Mall left 2 people in the hospital. This happened during a power outage that affected more than 1,400 customers this morning. Fire Rescue says that workers inside a money exchange, they used a generator to power their store after losing power. The store quickly filled with carbon monoxide, sending 2 of the workers to the hospital.
Employees were attempting to use a portable generator inside the business without ventilation, which exposed them to products of combustion, CO, which made them sick.
Both of the workers are in stable condition tonight. The store has also been cleared of the poisonous gas.
A Delta Airlines pilot is now charged with attempting to fly a plane drunk. Gabriel Schroeder was scheduled to fly from Minneapolis to San Diego last month. Tests determined he had a blood alcohol level between 0.04 and 0.08. A criminal complaint filed says Schroeder admitted to drinking the night before the flight. He also admitted to throwing away an unopened vodka bottle in an airport bathroom.